Hello everybody, my name is Kara, and today I am here with the Reader Problems book tag. This tag was created by Tiffany from About to Read, and I will link her original video down below. I was tagged by the lovely Yvette from Book Cave, and I will also link her channel down below. Question number 1. You have 20,000 books on your TBR. How in the world do you decide what to read next? So a lot of it depends on mood and like what I just finished reading. Sometimes I'll be in the zone for a particular genre and that's just what I keep picking up, or sometimes I really want to change. And actually one of the reasons that I enjoy doing readathons is because I feel like it really encourages me to like mix up what I'm reading, but I'm not 100% a mood reader. Like if there's a book that I've been meaning to pick up, or you know, like something that I keep telling myself I'm going to read, then sometimes I can pick it up and enjoy it even if it's not 100% what I'm in the mood for, if that makes sense. Question number 2. You're halfway through a book and you're just not loving it. Do you quit or are you committed? I actually need to get better about DNFing or quitting books that I'm not enjoying, because if I'm halfway through, I probably will push myself through to finish it, because I feel like at that point, when I give a review of that book, I want to make sure I've read the whole thing and I can say definitively it did not get any better, here are all the things I didn't like about it, things like that. Plus there have also been a few books where I almost quit, like at the middle or even earlier, and then it turned out to be worth it in the end because of like you find out something about the characters where it all makes sense, or just the story ended up getting so much better. And while I don't think that's an ideal way to write a book where you're just like saving the good parts for the end, I do feel like I've had enough success with it that I am sometimes willing to give a book like the benefit of the doubt. Question number 3. The end of the year is coming and you're so close but so far away on your Goodreads reading challenge. Do you try to catch up, and how? I usually set my reading challenge for something that I'm almost 100% sure I can make, and then if I go over it, that's great. I don't really want it to stress me out, and honestly, I feel like I would be more likely to lower my Goodreads challenge or to just like accept that I'm not going to make it, rather than like squeezing in a bunch of like graphic novels or, you know, like shorter books to try and meet the challenge, because it's more about you reading enough that you're happy with and like enjoying the experience of reading. So I don't really think an arbitrary number that I myself picked is a good reason to stress myself out. Question number 4. The covers of a series you love do not match. How do you cope? Mid-series cover changes are so frustrating, but honestly I feel like this doesn't happen to me that much anymore, mostly because I like buying paperbacks, so generally by the time the paperback edition comes out, way later than the hardcover one, if they've done a cover change, it's already happened, so I'm kind of like not as worried about it. So I guess I just kind of get over it. It's unlikely I would like rebuy the series unless it's like one of my all-time favorites and it's just driving me nuts that one of my most beloved books series like doesn't match, but I guess I would kind of just grumble about it with other booktubers or other readers and then just get over it. But publishers, stop doing that to us, okay? Question number 5. Everyone and their mother loves a book you really don't like. Who do you bond with over shared feelings? Generally, if I finish reading a book that I like really didn't like and everyone loves, I will go on Goodreads and look up negative reviews to kind of validate my feelings and make myself feel better. But if I want to actually talk to a person about it, a lot of times I will actually like talk to my mom, because we read very different kinds of books. So sometimes that's actually helpful, where I can just like tell her like, hey, listen to this annoying thing that happened in the book I'm reading. And I'll just give her like a brief summary and then like the annoying thing, because she's not invested in the story at all. She's like, yeah, that's really frustrating. So it just, again, just validates my feelings. Plus my mom has also done that with me with books that she's read. So we've got this great like reciprocal relationship going on of like having somebody to vent with about books we don't enjoy. Question number 6. You're reading a book and you are about to start crying in public. How do you deal? This has actually happened to me. I was actually reading a book in the car on our way to visit friends of my family's, and one of the main characters had just died of cancer. So that was not a good move to read that before actually having to talk to people. But if I were in public and I just was about to start crying, like, I might stop reading. It depends how invested I am in the book. If I'm about to start crying, I'm probably so deep into the story that it doesn't even matter to me anymore. Like, the rest of the world doesn't exist. I need to finish this book because it's hurting me and I need to get to the end. It also depends what kind of crying. Like, if we're talking like, oh, I'm just like wiping tears away, it's fine, like, don't mind me, I'm just a stranger crying in public, like, that's one thing and I think I would just keep reading. But if it's about to be a sob fest, I might have to force myself to wait because I just don't feel like I could explain to people. Question number 7. A sequel of a book you loved just came out, but you've forgotten a lot from the prior novel. Will you reread the book, skip the sequel, try to find a synopsis on Goodreads, cry in frustration? Since it's a book I loved, I probably wouldn't mind rereading it, so I guess I would look up a summary, and if that didn't help, then I would actually reread the book before the sequel came out. Number 8. You do not want anyone borrowing your books. How do you politely tell people nope when they ask? This is one of the only good things about having only a few friends in real life who actually read, because for the most part, the people who I lend books to, it doesn't happen a lot, but when it does, I do trust them to get back to me. Like, even if it's a couple years down the road, me and my best friend have done that a couple of times where it took a while, but eventually we did give each other their books back. But if it's someone I really don't want borrowing them, I am going to steal Yvette and Priscilla's answer and say that I can't because I'm actually lending it to somebody else. Like maybe my brother or sister or something. So sorry, I don't have it anymore. But honestly, if I didn't want them borrowing my book, I would probably lie about owning it in the first place. Number 9, reading ADD. You've picked up and put down 5 books in the last month. How do you get over your reading slump? Okay, so I don't actually know how to answer this one because from what I understand about what reading slumps are, I don't think I've ever actually been in one. Like, the closest I've ever gotten has been, like, a couple of days when I feel like reading and I just don't know what to read. And in that case, I'll just kind of, like, pick up a couple of different books and, like, try reading them. And then if that doesn't work, I'll just wait, like, a day. And then by the next day, I'm, like, ready to read again. That's the least helpful answer I've ever heard for anything, but that's just what I do. Also, rereading books is a really popular suggestion, so I will also do that, and I specifically will not add them to like my Goodreads challenge, or like I won't officially say I'm reading them because I feel like sometimes just having it separate from the like goal-oriented part of reading will really take the pressure off and get you to start enjoying reading more. Number 10. There are so many new books coming out that you're dying to read. How many do you actually buy? Probably more than I should and not as many as I want to. But this year I am actually getting a lot better about only buying the ones that I am immediately excited for, because I think it's sometimes so easy to like see a new release in the bookstore that you've been meaning to pick up as soon as it came out. And even if you're not really in the mood for it, you'll kind of talk yourself into it by saying like, I'm gonna be excited for it soon. And really, there's no reason to buy it if you're not intending to read it soon. I'm still working on that, but I am getting better. And finally, number 11 is after you've bought the new books you can't wait to get to, how long do they sit on your shelf before you get to them? That varies pretty widely. Sometimes I will pick up a book immediately, and if that doesn't happen, it can be like between anywhere from a month to a few years later. And that doesn't actually bother me that much because I really enjoy reading a mix of new releases and backlist books. So I don't really feel like the time pressure to like read something really quickly unless I'm worried about spoilers. Okay everybody, so that was the Reader Problems book tag. Thank you again Yvette for tagging me. I don't know who has done this tag already. I feel like it's a pretty popular one, so I might tag a few people in the description box, so be sure to check that. Thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you soon with another video, and I hope you love the next book you read. Bye!